We're in a really interesting time, as we've said for the past 20 or so minutes, because it's a rerun of 2020. It's also unprecedented. We've never seen an election quite like this. So, what do you think this says about the future of both parties in this country?
I think that the public has moved away from both parties. We're seeing more and more independents. We're seeing more and more young people identify as independents. Now, political scientists will tell us, rightly, that you may say you're an independent, but you really lean pretty heavily Democrat or you lean pretty heavily Republican. And that's true. But I think that you're seeing a disaffection from the parties. And I would also say that the parties themselves don't look anything like the old parties. Name name the kind of big inside political leaders of any of these parties back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and you could name powerful, influential people that could say, look, this candidate might win the the nomination but couldn't win the general election. We have to pick a different candidate, and they could probably manage to do that. They managed to displace. Remember when they thought Franklin Roosevelt was about couldn't make it through his last term, his fourth term, they replaced the existing vice president with Harry Truman, who they thought would be an electable successor. You can't. There's nobody who could replace Kamala Harris because you would alienate African American constituency, and that's absolutely essential to any Democrats. Name the big Republican leaders who can see a train wreck coming in the general election if Trump is the nominee. Uh, they who could replace him? There's nobody. I mean, they can't get him out. Uh, uh, they they know that Trump hurt them badly in the off-year election when he was president, 2018. They know that he hurt them in 2020 down ballot. They know that he hurt them in 2022. He wasn't on the ballot, but everybody considered him the party's leader. And they're afraid that that could happen again in 2024. But there are no political leaders in these parties. The parties have disintegrated in a lot of ways, except for holding these primaries. But the primaries are very important, and they could lead to the nomination of two candidates that the general public is unhappy with.